doing today, Ron?
Okay, I guess, considering my son needs braces and my wife just tried to hit me up for more money.
Hello? Yes, I'd like to speak to Mr. Arthur Gustav, please. Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. When did Mr. Gustav pass on? Is this Mr. Gustav's secretary? Yeah, well, this is Frank Arelli. I'm calling from Suburban Motors. What's your name? Linda Cosgrove. Yeah, Linda, Mr. Gustav was an old and valued customer of mine, and well, actually, there's two reasons why I was calling today. Yeah, first, I wanted to find out how the company car is doing, and by the way, what kind of car do you drive? A 66 Mustang convertible? No kidding. I used to have a 66 convertible. My brother-in-law wrapped it up. Yeah, Linda, you know, I might be interested in buying yours from you. Did you ever think about selling? Oh, no, that's okay. I'll tell you the truth, I wouldn't sell mine if I still had it either. Yeah, I'll hold on.
You're incredible.
Linda? Yes. Well, the second reason I called is because we have our new models in, and I hope to show them to Mr. Gustav. Yeah, gee, with Gus gone and you in love with your car, I guess I'm not doing too well here, am I? Linda, look, maybe you can help me out. Do you know of anyone, maybe someone right there in a print shop that might be looking for a new car? Oh, yes, I understand. You'd have to ask him first. Look, I'd appreciate it if you would give him my name. Do you have a pencil handy? It's Frank Arelli, A-R-R-E-L-L-I. Yeah, and explain to him I used to sell Gus all his cars. Look, Linda, if you don't mind, I'll send a note with my card so you can pass it on to him. Right. Well, you have a nice day. Right.
You're something else. You call a guy, find out that he's 6 feet under, and still you try to hustle the people in his shop. If you'd have gotten the widow on the phone, you'd have probably asked her if she needs something smaller, since the size of her family isn't as large as it used to be.
Well,
I would have hung up when she said he was dead.
I got the answer to my question.
What's that?
Gus is not in the market for a new car.
No joke. I wish I could do what you do. I gotta force myself to pick up the phone and face all the bad news.
What bad news are you getting?
People get annoyed with me for wasting their time. Seems like every other call turns into a service complaint. It's damn discouraging.
Hey, it's all in your head. Look, it can be fun if you approach it in the right way.
Well, that's fine for you to say. It doesn't bother you.
And look, when I started in this business, I went through the same thing. I mean, I cried real tears if anybody said no to me. I know how you feel. Look, you've only been here 4 months.
I was in sales before, but we didn't have to do any prospecting.
So you can't expect miracles. Look, it takes time to learn who to call and what to say. What is it you're trying to do when you make a call?
To sell cars.
Ron, you cannot sell cars on the phone. Me, I try to find people who are in the market, then get them into the dealership. Now, that's the difference. You know, it's all in the way you look at it. I don't look at it as being turned down. It's part of the work it takes to be a success.
Ron Kendall.
Hi, Ron.
Hi, Tracy. What can I do for you?
It's Mr. McCabe. He'd like you to bring your appointment book and owner files and meet him in his office as soon as you can.
Okay, I'll be there in 3 minutes. The boss wants to go over my appointment book and owner files again. He's probably going to want to know why I'm not doing more prospecting.
You have an answer for him?
No, not really. I'm not making the money I need, and my wife's giving me a hard time. I guess I got to do something about it or get out of the business. What do you think I should do, Frank?
You have been watching Ron Kendall, who has been selling cars at a Ford Lincoln Mercury dealership for 4 months, facing up to the fact that he's not going to be successful unless he learns how to prospect effectively. In this program, we'll follow Ron's attempt to overcome his fear of prospecting. From time to time, we're going to stop the program to let you discuss the action you would take if you were faced with Ron's problem.
What do you think I should do, Frank?
Well, for what it's worth, I can tell you how I look at it. Look, prospecting is like a screening process to help you find people that are in market for a car. Now, what you say and what you do depends on who you call. If I'm calling orphaned owners, I treat it like a survey. Yes, do you still drive that 79 Granada? Yes, how do you like it? Good, fine. Yes, when do you expect to be in the market for a new car? You see, the more I do it, the more I have fun with it. And I try to remind myself that it's just a numbers game. That's why I'm systematic about it. I contact enough of the right kind of people, and I come up with a consistent percentage of closes.
I wish I could get it all together like you have. Well, I'd better face the music with McCabe.
Right.
See you, Frank.
Good luck.
Right, you too. Hey, Ron, have a seat. I called you in to review what you've been working on since we talked last week. Let me see your appointment book.
I'm going to meet the Albrights on a B-back this afternoon.
It's good you're working your walk-ins, Ron, but there's not enough walk-in business to keep you busy.
Yeah, it isn't like when I was at Sears. The doors aren't swinging open with a steady flow of traffic.
Well, that prospecting plan we agreed on would change that. Have you been following it?
Yes, but I haven't gotten much out of it.
What sort of prospecting have you been doing? Have you been contacting those orphan donors?
Yeah, I've been sending out the letter we worked up introducing me as a new salesman here. But I bet 99% of them ditched the letter with the junk mail.
Have you been following up by phone?
Yes, but it takes a lot of time, and that hasn't paid off either. Out of 15 calls, I'm lucky if I get one appointment. It's been a waste of time. Yes, but it takes a lot of time, and that hasn't paid off either. Out of 15 calls, I'm lucky if I get one appointment. It's been a waste of time.
Ron, with mail-outs, a very small rate of return is normal. On the phone, you'll do considerably better. And your rate of success will depend on who you're calling. You get your best results from face-to-face contact. You know, but it sounds to me like you're not making enough contacts to make the money you need.
Well, I guess it's because I get frustrated. I haven't been working the plan as hard as I should.
Let's go over the plan we agreed on. You said you needed more money to buy a house.
Well, if you really think it'll help us get out of that basement apartment, I'm willing to give it another try.
Okay, given your rate of commission, you figured you'd need to make 15 sales a month in order to earn the extra income to buy the house.
Right.
So you're talking about 4 a week.
Yes, but since I've been here, I've averaged about 3 a week. Or a little less.
So you're really only talking about getting 1 more sale a week from prospecting.
Well, that sounds easy, but I haven't been able to do it.
Well, let's see how much work it would take. You should be able to close about 1 out of every 3 appointments you get. So you have to get 3 firm appointments from prospecting in order to make that extra sale.
Right. But I haven't been able to get them from the leads I've got.
Have you been contacting your owners?
They're not going to be ready to buy again.
But Ron, you should be getting some referrals. You stay in touch with your owners. They're your best source of leads. Here, let me have the file on one of the customers that you've contacted recently.
Len Krause's office.
Mr. Krause, please.
Just one moment.
Hello?
Mr. Krause, this is John McCabe calling.
Who?
John McCabe, I'm sales manager at Suburban Motors. How do you like your new Cougar?
It's okay now, but I wasn't all that happy with it last month.
Oh, what was the trouble?
The power window on the passenger side didn't work. Soaked the interior one night when it wouldn't go up.
Oh, I'm sorry you had trouble with it. Did Mr. Kendall, the salesman who sold you the car, help you get the problem taken care of?
Well, the first time I brought it in on my own. Had it back a few days when I realized they didn't fix it right. I was kind of steamed about it when your salesman gave me a call. But yeah, he helped get the problem cleared up.
Well, considering the circumstances, I'm glad he did. Are you satisfied with the repairs this time?
Yeah, it's all right now. I haven't had any problems.
Well, Mr. Krause, the other reason I called is that we're always looking for new business, and I was wondering if you've had occasion to talk with anyone about your new car, or if you know of anyone in the market right now.
Can't say I remember anybody.
Well, how about someone there at your office?
Well, even if I did know someone, I don't think they'd appreciate my giving you their name and having some salesman call them on the phone. You know how it is. Well, even if I did know someone, I don't think they'd appreciate my giving you their name and having some salesman call them on the phone. You know how it is.
Well, we did get your problem handled, and your salesman was right there to help. You know, you'd be doing someone a favor to refer him to a salesman like Mr. Kendall.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But I really can't think of anybody.
Perhaps there's someone there in your office who's been having trouble with their car and would like to consider replacing it.
Well, now that you mention it, my secretary's been late a couple of times recently. She's having trouble with her car, but I don't know. I don't think she's really in the market.
You know, even if you're not sure, it's worth a try, Mr. Krause. What's her name?
It's Jane Ross.
That's R-O-S-S?
Yeah,
And the number is the same as your office number.
that's right.
Well, Mr. Krause, you've been very helpful. Both Mr. Kendall and I appreciate your cooperation. Thank you.
Sure. Goodbye.
Bye.
You had to push him pretty hard.
Oh, not really. I just had to reassure him and help him think about who might need a new car. He was glad to help. Here's your lead.
Well, I'll see if I can get her in to look at a new car.
Well, now, Ron, you see, it can be done. Oh, thank you, Terry. So you give your plan another try, and we'll review your progress in a day or so.
Okay. Trying to do all the right things, but I'm still not making this whole prospecting routine work.
Well, you got something out of it, didn't you?
I put in 3 weeks of hard work, and it helped me sell 1 car. I've gotten some appointments, but not what I planned for.
Look, it looks to me like what you need to do is to find some customers on your home turf. You know, people that you know better than the next salesman.
Like who?
Well, for starters, how about the people you do business with? I mean, they're kind of obligated to you because you give them your business.
I see what you mean. Yeah, I feel like I'm supporting the dentist, the pharmacist, and the dry cleaner and all. But I got to come up with more than just a few if we're ever going to be able to afford that house.
Well, then, what about the people you used to work with when you were at Sears?
I hadn't thought of it since I left. And I know most everybody at the downtown store.
And you speak their language. You know, you ought to do real well with them because you can relate to them. You got some common ground. McCabe calls it your circle of influence.
Hey, I think you really put me on to something. When I finish my meeting with McCabe, I'm going to give my old boss a call. Thanks, Frank. I've had to put in a lot more hours than I planned for to get the appointments I need. I was hoping you could help me figure out a way to get the results I planned for.
Well, have you figured out what the problem is?
Well, I've been working hard following up the leads that I've gotten from the dealership, but a lot of times things have changed since the last time they bought.
What do you mean?
Well, in some cases, they moved away or lost their jobs, so they're just not prospects anymore.
I see.
And then with a lot of calls, I find out they've just bought something else. And then with a lot of calls, I find out they've just bought something else.
Ron, the dealership leads are good because they give you a starting point, some information a salesman can use to establish a common ground with the prospect. But most salesmen prefer not to rely solely on dealership-supplied leads because in following them up, you do have to take time in order to reestablish rapport with the prospect.
Yeah, you do.
And there are more obstacles to overcome than when you're developing leads among people you know and see regularly.
I understand.
You know what you have to do is identify groups of people you know who can afford to buy.
I was thinking about calling my old boss at Sears.
That's the kind of thing I mean. Can you think of any other group?
Well, my wife drags me along to the PTA. She's president this year.
Oh, that's good. Teachers have secure jobs and need good economical cars.
And I've got something in common with the other parents, too. I might be able to get something out of working them.
There you go. See, the advantage of prospecting in your own circle of influence, that is people you see regularly and have something in common with, is that you can cultivate them before they're in the market. That way, when they decide they are in the market, it's natural they'll come to you first.
Sounds like that kind of business is a bit far off yet, but I see what you mean. Listen, I've got a couple of ideas I'd like to work on.
Well, fine. We'll talk again whenever you want.
I'll get back to you and let you know how it works out.
Okay.
Hey, Charlie. Yeah, a long time. How's it going selling appliances? Yeah? Oh, I'm selling cars over at Suburban Motors. No kidding. Yeah? I was thinking I should drop over there someday and say hello to everybody. Do you know if Mimi Parsons ever got rid of her old Ford? Still has it, huh? Well, maybe I can get her interested in replacing it. It's a thought.
You didn't waste any time delivering that escort to your kid's teacher. Now, that's good work.
I'm just lucky that she happened to be in the market.
True, but because you planned it, you were looking in the right place.
Yeah, and because I know how to do it better, I'm beginning to be able to have fun with it. Well, last week, while everybody was socializing before the meeting, I realized that the parents of some kids in Bobby's class were people I'd sold to a couple of months ago. Well, right there in front of everybody, I asked them how they liked their car.
What'd they say?
Well, they liked it all right. That didn't surprise me. But what did surprise me was the reaction I got from some of the other people who were just listening in. Well, several of them told me about their cars, and that's when Bobby's teacher mentioned that she'd been thinking about trading.
And now that's the way to do it.
I must have given out every business card I had on me.
McCabe will buy you all the business cards you can peddle. You just keep bringing in the business.
You know, I'm convinced I can do it now.
Hey, Ron, you've come a long way since you were trying to sell cars on the phone.
I agree. You know, you've got yourself on the right track. Hey, while you're here, why don't you call your kid's teacher to make sure she likes her car? And you can show us how you get a referral.
Well, I should be able to reach her now. Okay.
Hello?
Beverly Nagel, please.
Speaking.
Miss Nagel, this is Ron Kendall of Suburban Motors. I'm calling to find out how you like your new Escort.
The car's fine, Mr. Kendall. I love it. But I'm glad you called because I've been wanting to talk to you about your son.